Now that the gates to more worlds are open, it's time to head to the Land of Dragons, in which there is one confirmed dragon, or more accurately, a small lizard with some gastrointestinal issues. We open on a ruined village devastated by fire, and a man standing in the middle of it with a bird on his shoulder, smiling at the carnage. Watching from a nearby bamboo thicket, a dude with a ponytail is being told by a shadow on a rock that now is his chance to defeat Shan Yu, the leader of the Han army. The shadow refers to the man as Mulan and calls him girl, which is very confusing, probably a mistranslation somewhere. Sora and Donald walk up, see the shadow on the rock, and think it's a Heartless, so they prepare a sneak attack. Goofy, the smart dumb person in the group, is the only one who says maybe they ought to look before they leap, but they get after it anyway by running towards Mulan and the shadow out in the open while exclaiming weak battle cries. A little red lizard jumps into Mulan's arms, and Goofy's like, "Is that Mushu?" Mushu pops up over the man's shoulder and starts vamping for too long without recognizing the people he's staring directly at until he finally does. The man asks if he knows them, and Mushu's like, "Hell yeah, bro, we used to roll up on them bad guys like bam, pow!" Bold of Mushu to assume I ever used his ass in KH1, I restored him from his gem, and then that bitch never saw the light of day. I helped these guys out of a lot of tight spots. The only tight spot you were in was the bottom of my inventory. Sora asks Mulan who he is, and he says, "I'm Mulan. I mean..." And then Mushu interjects, "Ping!" And Donald's like, "Mulan Ping!" And the way he says it just feels a little bit racist. Like, that dude's name could be Mulan Ping, although based on how names work in China, I guess that would be like if I said my name was Smith Jessica. Ping says, "Just Ping. I am Ping, son of Fa Zhu," which is actually supposed to be pronounced Fa Zhou, based on a Chinese pronunciation I looked up, so Ping has already failed as a son. He asks Sora and them if they would come with him to join the Imperial Army, a decision that is somehow not treated like the biggest ask in the world. Sora must think he's fucking invincible if he'll literally join the army and go to war without a second thought. Ping says it'll be easier to fit in if he's with guys like them, and they're like, "What?" Before Goofy says, "You're pretending to be a boy, ain't ya?" I heard him say the same thing to Harry Styles once, but this blew me away. Ping not really being a boy, I was shooketh, and so were Sora and Donald. I know Sora's gonna do a full body check on Riku when he finally sees him again. Upon reaching the encampment, Sora gets in line but is cut by a short and stout teapot of a man, and when he complains, the dude turns around and decks him in the face like a Chad. This starts an entire brawl, which Mulan tries to break up by saying, "Please," like a woman with no penis. Everyone looks at her like, "Does this bitch have titties?" Before Mulan regains her manly voice like, knock it off." The short Chinese guy who for some reason has a New York accent goes, "Knock what off?" And they go back and forth for a bit until the captain shows up and restores order. All of a sudden, Heartless show up, and we fight them admirably while Mulan, aka Ping, stumbles over herself like she was too busy cooking and cleaning to have ever held a sword. The captain recognizes Sora, Donald, and Goofy's fighting prowess while he tells Ping to get the fuck out of here. Ping's like, "But that would dishonor my family," and Shang's like, "You'd rather dishonor my troops?" That's a burn and a half. Sora and the rest argue on Ping's behalf by making empty promises of him getting better with training, and the captain relents. It is now incumbent upon us to take on a series of military operations which amount to go here and kill Heartless, except the third one, in which Heartless have infiltrated the camp, and for some reason we're the only soldiers in the entire army, so we snuff them out by ourselves. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are passing these tests with flying colors, but Ping is still trash. He begs the captain for one more chance, so we undertake a new assignment to clear the mountain pass so we can head for the summit. After succeeding with no valued assistance from Ping whatsoever, we go to the captain like, "Boy, Ping sure did great slicing the air while we killed everyone. Won't you please shower him with praise and approval?" The captain begrudgingly allows Ping to join the ranks, but remains unconvinced of his potential for great reason. In a new snowy village where they've set up a base camp, Mushu tells everyone he saw someone walk into a cave right on the outskirts, and that he knows it was Shan Yu. Instead of informing the captain, Mushu sees this as an opportunity for Ping to prove himself, by taking down the goddamn leader of the opposing army, as if someone who's failed even the easiest of missions beforehand would be able to take down a vicious fang-toothed vampire-looking mofo with a pet falcon. And even as a team, I know the Keyblade is magical and whatnot, but Sora should not be good enough of a swordsman to contend with these people who probably trained for decades. But we go into the cave anyway, and at first nobody sees anything, so Donald and Goofy start walking back towards the entrance. But suddenly a magical barrier is erected, separating Donald and Goofy from Sora and Ping. Closer to the entrance, Shan Yu can be seen laughing and walking out of the cave, so Mushu at least wasn't lying. Once Sora and Ping, aka just Sora, take down all the Heartless, they get back back outside to discover that the village encampment they were inhabiting has been burned to the ground. Shan Yu clearly used the cave as a diversion so he could attack the base while the army's best soldiers and Ping were occupied. They find the captain wounded, and Sora tells him that if he tracks down the villagers, they'd handle Shan Yu. You guys were recruited 10 minutes ago, but sure, go ahead and give the captain orders, I guess, while you're resolved to destroy the entire opposite army by your Disney lonesomes. We talked to the biggest soldier on the market, and he tells us that Shan Yu attacked the village with some creatures he'd never seen before, and that a falcon even captured some of them. How the hell do you get captured by a falcon? Was it Captain Falcon? Did you have a bounty on your ass? Falco Lombardi could have done it too, but I've seen Shan Yu's falcon, and that ain't Falco. As we approach the summit, we see Shan Yu at the top commanding an army of little helicopter Heartless who are the weakest in the entire game, even weaker than Shadows. So Shan Yu sure knows how to pick 'em. He signals them to swarm the group, and thousands of them come raining down the mountain, causing Sora and the others to presumably get separated because Sora's by himself for this fight, and I don't know where everyone else went. After surviving for a minute, during which time I was able to kill 70 Heartless like a badass, Ping probably killed 3 somewhere in the corner, good for her, Shan Yu charges down the mountain himself. The grunts from the movie show up with a dragon head cannon and aim it at Shan Yu, but Ping elbows them out of the way and takes it further up the mountain, before aiming it at the peak itself. She launches it, and Mushu, who decided to ride on it for no reason, up at the peak, where it blows up and causes an avalanche, burying Shan Yu and Mushu in a move that was aimed at killing Shan Yu, but even though Mushu got caught up in it too, nobody seems to care or act like he's in any danger. The captain shows up, Ping rescues him from the avalanche by dragging him off to the side, and just when it seems like Ping is about to earn some real accolades out here, Mushu pops up out of the snow and blows her cover by addressing her as a woman and calling her Mulan. Captain Shang, completely unfazed by the presence of a talking dragon with the voice of a black guy, is more focused on the dude being a chick, saying she lied to him, and that punishment for high treason and dishonoring the army is death. Then he lets them go, saying his debt is repaid because Ping saved his life, and now the captain is saving theirs by not executing them. For those counting, that is now twice that Mushu is completely at fault for ruining everything. Mulan sheds her Ping disguise and is now all of a sudden a swordmaster, but as they're about to leave to go home, they see Shan Yu pop out of the snow somewhat lower down the mountain, with a Heartless squadron still at his beck and call. They decide to go to the Imperial City and intercept Shang to warn him of the danger, but when Mulan gets there and tries to tell him, he's all like, "Why should I believe you this time?" Which is a weird reaction because it's not like the last time she lied she was making shit up. She was just disguising herself. She wasn't the boy who cried wolf. This isn't her third time rushing up to the captain like, Captain Shang, Shan Yu is alive and he's going to attack the palace. And then they all go and check and he ain't there and she's like, haha, fooled ya. You can't not take intel of the potential assassination of the emperor seriously if you're the captain of the damn guard just because it came from someone who recently untied her hair. Anyway, they spot Captain Falcon circling the skies, and then 3 of the soldiers traveling with Shang turn out to be Heartless in disguise. This dude is developing some serious trust issues today. After the battle, we come up to Shan Yu, who has the Emperor at blade point, saying now he will bow to him. But in a daring maneuver only made possible by the purposely obscuring camera angle, Shang drops out of the fucking open sky and gives Shan Yu a quick palm strike before securing the Emperor. Now it's boss time. I wish Kingdom Hearts 2 had a villain roundtable like the first game did, because Shan Yu would absolutely lead it. He does not get the evil respect he deserves in this game. He should be the most powerful Heartless controlling villain, but instead he's an early game pushover. Once we wreck his ass, the Emperor comes out and admonishes the hell out of Mulan, listing all the things she did that were all individually punishable by death, but at the end he does that quick switch and says that she saved them all, and then he bows to her, which in China is the equivalent of Jesus Christ coming down from the heavens and spreading his cheeks for somebody. He motions for Shang to present her with Shan Yu's sword, and the captain tells them all thank you. The Emperor goes, "Thank you? Is that all there is to say, Captain?" He says if he wants to win the heart of China's bravest woman, he'll have to do better than that, which makes sense since they had so much romantic chemistry back when Ping was a dude, with him constantly saying Ping wasn't good enough to be in his army, and then almost putting Mulan to death when he found out the truth. Yeah, he's totally earned some affection. Shan Yu's sword lights up, Sora locks it or whatever, and it's once again time to move on from this crazy backwards country before they invent COVID. See you next time in Beast's Castle.